This is going to be the lesson for simple and compound interest. There are going to be a few things that we need to define first. First will be our simple interest formula. So the formula for simple interest is going to be I equals PRT. And then for compound interest, this formula is a little scary looking, but because we get a calculator, it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be A equals P parentheses 1 plus R to the power of T, which I know looks super scary, but I'll explain more of that here in just a minute. But now really what we need to do is we need to talk about what all of these little symbols mean. I won't come as much of a surprise. I is just our interest. P is our principal, or our starting amount of money that we're talking about. And R will be our rate. They give us a percent, but we have to convert it to a decimal. And T will be our time in years. Oh, and then finally, I almost forgot one, we have A. A is our total amount. Just to clarify those two differences, A being total amount that we're talking about, like our starting amount plus our interest or whatever, and then I is just the interest alone by itself. So now to start going through a few of these and just kind of explain. We'll start with simple interest because it's pretty straightforward. So in this first section, we are just worried about simple interest. So we are going to be using that I equals PRT. So I equals PRT. So $14,500 at 16% for 7 years. This is going to be our principal. This right here is going to be our rate, but our rate is going to be 0.16. And then 7 years is going to be our time. So to find our interest, we are going to take the $14,500. We're going to multiply it times 0.16 and times 7. We multiply all those just in the calculator. We get 16,240. So our pen is again not working real great today. So that is our interest. Now for our principal, I'm going to zoom in and ditch my pen for a little bit because this is driving me crazy. So our interest is at 16,240. But our total amount, if we had that loan for that long, we've got to put that along with our original $14,500. So our amount is going to be $30,740. And what I did is I added the principal and the interest together. Show you guys a few more just to clarify on that. All right, so here's our principal. Here's our rate. But our rate is going to be 0.11 because we moved the decimal 2 to the side. And then this is going to be our time right here. So we're going to do 1,200 times 0.11 times 8 years. When we multiply that out, that's going to be our interest. And our interest is going to be $1,056. But now for our amount, I need to change colors for this part. What we're going to do is, because we want to know the total amount. So we're going to take our principal, that 1,200, and we're going to add on our interest of 1,056. So that is going to be our total of $2,256. So those are the two answers that we're looking for. One more, and then I'm going to let you guys finish that section on your own. Here is our principal. Here is our rate, but that rate is going to be 0.06. And our time is 7 years. So I equals PRT again. So P, our rate, and our time. I know I'm using parentheses. You can just use the multiplication symbol. So I'm going to do the 450 times 0.06 times 7. And I get my interest of 189. And now, so that's my interest. So interest of 189. And our total amount is going to be the 189 plus the 450. So 450 plus 189. It's going to be a total of $639. So those are two answers that we're looking for. And I know I said that was going to be the last one, but we might as well get these last two odd ones knocked out, and then you guys can do the even ones, and I'll get some of the compound interest ones done too. So here's P, here's R, which is going to be 0.12, and here's our time. So I equals PRT, so 420. We're going to do this times 0.12 times 7 years. We get a total of $352.80. So that's just our interest. So our interest, I'm going to change colors again, is going to be the 352.80. But if we want to know the total amount of the loan, A, we've got to put the $420 and the $352.80 together for our total. So the total amount of the loan would be $772.80. So again, those are the two answers that we're looking for. Last one of the simple interest ones. So here is our principal. Here is our rate, but it's going to be 0.01. Those are supposed to be equal signs right there. And then here's our time of 4 years. So I equals PRT. So 65 is our principal, times our rate, 0.01, and times our number of years, 4 years. Our total amount of interest is going to be $2.60. So I is going to be $2.60. Total amount for the loan is going to be the $65 plus the $2.60, so it's going to be $67.60. Now to move on to compound interest. So again, the compound interest formula is a little strange. The compound interest is weird because it doesn't give us the interest, it gives us the total amount. So we're doing the principal, we're going to use parentheses, 1 plus our rate to the power of the time. And I'm going to show you how to do this one in the calculator. So again, just to mark everything, here's our principal right here. Here's our rate, which is going to be 0.04. And there's our time. I know this is semi-annually. We're going to treat all of these as annually. I don't care what it says on there. We're doing annually on all of these, not semi-annually. So we've got all of our stuff. I'm going to write out what the formula looks like. Then I'm going to show you what it looks like in the calculator. So our total amount is going to be our principal, $1,320, times 1 plus the rate of 0.04 to the power of 7. That's going to be our time. That's going to be our total amount. And there's a little shot of what it looks like in the calculator. But for us, we are not going to use all these decimals. That 9 makes that round up to a 3, and then we're not going to worry about the rest of that. So $17.37.03, that is going to be our total amount. So our amount is $17.37.03. Now our interest is not the total amount. We've got to take away our principal away from that total amount to know how much interest we were left with. So I'm going to take, I'll do this in a different color, 1737.03. This time I'm taking off the principal because I want just the interest by itself. And that's going to tell me that we are left with $417.03. So that is our actual interest. So again, that's really what I'm looking for on this one. Do some more of those first. Now for the next one, same formula. Here's our principal. Here's our rate, which is going to be 0.08. And here is our time. So in the calculator, it's going to look like principal, 1 plus our rate of 0.08 to the power of 7, because that's our total amount of time. This is going to be the total amount, so I'm going to plug that in the calculator. Again, that's what it looks like in the calculator, but for our amounts, we don't need those decimals. There's nothing to round, so it's going to be $377.04 for our amount. So A equals $377.04. And our interest is, like I said, we got to take away that $377, or we got to take away the principal away from that total amount. So $377.04, and now I'm taking away the principal. And our interest is going to be that $157, and I got to scooch over a little bit, 0.04. And that turned out way bigger than the rest of the font. Oh well. All right, number 5. Here's the principal. Here's the rate. That's going to be 0.03. And then there's our time, already in years. So 560 is our principal. 1 plus 0.03 to the power of, I'm going to change colors so that doesn't overlap, 2 for years. Plug that in the calculator, show you what it looks like. So again, this is our total amount. We don't need that extra decimal place, nothing to round. So our amount is going to be that $5.94.10. So the amount is $5.94.10. Our interest by itself, not the total amount, is we're going to take that $5.94.10. I'm going to take away that $5.60 to have just the amount of interest. So our interest was just $30. Scooch over again because I always run out of room here. $30.10 for our amount and just our interest. Number 17. Looks like I got 2 more to do with you. So here's our principal. Here's our rate, but it's going to be 0.08 compounded annually. There's our time. So $4.60 principal. 1 plus 0.08 to the power of 6. That kind of worked out nicely right there. That's going to be our total amount. Again, I'll show you how it looks in the calculator. Alright, so now I'm going to have to round just a little bit. Actually, nothing to round on this one. That 96 cents is fine, so I only need 2 decimal places because this is money. So that's our total amount. So A equals $729.96. Our interest, just the interest alone, is where I take the $729.96. I'm going to take away my principal amount of $460 to find out just how much interest I have. That's going to leave me with $269.96 for just the interest. Alright, final one for compound interest. Alright, there's our principal. There's our rate. But rate is going to be 0.09. Oops, that's a terrible 0. Pretend that's a 0 right there. 0.09. And then there's our T. So $30 for our principal. 1 plus 0.09 to the power of 2. And I got to change colors again because I don't want to overlap in red. Plug this into the calculator, get a total amount. So again, here's what it looks like in the calculator. We only need 2 decimal places. There's nothing to round there. So there's our actual amount. So A is going to equal $35.64. And in our interest, we are going to take away that principal amount. Oops, that's supposed to be a plus right there. Or minus, sorry. Minus. And $5.64. The back is honestly not too much worse, so I'm not going to really work these for you. I want you to try these on your own. Make sure you know whether you were looking for the total amount or if you were looking for just the interest. The first 6 are just simple interest, and I believe the last 2 are going to be compound interest. If you have questions, let me know and I will help you guys out.